Welcome to the Neon Noise Podcast, your home for learning ways to attract more traffic to your website, generate more leads, convert more leads into customers, and build stronger relationships with your customers. And now, your hosts, Justin Johnson and Ken Franzen.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Neon Noise Podcast, where we decode marketing and sales topics to help you attract more visitors, generate more leads, and ultimately close more customers. I am Justin, and with me today is my co-host, Ken. Ken, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well today, Justin. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Thank you for asking. I thought that today would be a good topic would be for growing your email list. I think an email list is one of the most important, if not the most important tools that you have in your marketing toolbox. And also, it's just one of those tools that is something that is underutilized by quite a few folks. I don't know if that's something that you see yourself, but a lot of people just are not using their email list as effective as they could be. So one of the biggest issues that businesses have is just finding more email subscribers. Wouldn't you say, Ken?
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a challenge. Whenever I bring up the conversation comes up, where would you invest the most? What areas? And I always go email.
Yeah.
Build your email list, grow your email list, send emails, do everything you can. And the struggle they have is that's fantastic.
How do I do it?
Let's buy some emails, and anyone with a credit card can go buy an email, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Right.
We want to build lists of individuals that want to hear from the businesses, right? And that means that they opt into the offers or subscribe to receive email updates.
Yep.
And so that's where we're going to get the best conversion rates. That's where we're going to have start building that relationship, the engagement. Absolutely. It's where the magic happens.
Awesome. All right. So how do we grow that email list? I think that's the main question that we get asked so often. So let's dive in, go through some simple tactics that are easy to employ, that you can employ to grow that list. And first things first, the most basic routes to go. And I think that a lot of people probably cover this, but there's definitely some opportunity there, is just having an email sign-up form on your website. Go through and, create a simple single email sign-up form on your website that just makes sure, ask the visitors if they want to enter an email address and receive messages from you. You can make the offer as simple as, receive email updates and tips from your company to, sign up for new blogs the moment that they're published. I think that a lot of people, they just don't do this. If you've got a form that's converting on your website, this is another big one, is just if you have a form that's converting on your website, put a checkbox at the bottom of it that has, it's already checked off for, receive email updates and tips from my company, so that you can continue to reach out and nurture those individuals and send them your offers.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, this is the most simplistic, and you can do a couple of forms. That's a great add in there about the checkbox. I like that option, especially with a well converting form, but definitely include even in the footer and the sidebar, right in the middle of your homepage. Make your homepage opt-in. It's just a simple email, sign up, subscribe. The other thing that you could do also, and I like this, some people might disagree with me, but employ use of a simple pop-up box when someone visits your website. It comes in and it says, "Hey, would you like to receive email updates from our company?" Or download our new guide on how to do X, Y, Z. Go to sumo.com. Sumo.com's got a lot of great tools that you can download. They have a list builder tool that's excellent. They have a couple other tools that do some of the things we're going to talk about here for building the list, but they're real easy to implement add-ins for a website. And they're very affordable as well. So sumo.com, will include a link in the show notes, but just wanted to touch on that quick. Great ways to get that simple email sign up form on your website.
I like the idea of when they come in, also when they're leaving the website as well. When they go to check that box off, to have that same, pop up show up for entering the sign up.
Sure. Yeah. That's some of the advanced sophistication of some of the functionality in that sumo.com list builder. You can add some behavioral conditions in there so that you can say, I want it to pop up right when the session starts, right when they first come to your page. You can designate which pages you want the pop-up to show up on, or you can say if they're giving indications that they might be leaving the site, then go ahead and serve them up with hey, hold
you
the
forgot.
door.
Come back.
Exactly. Come back.
All right, cool. How about running a contest? Who doesn't like to win stuff? Everybody likes to win stuff.
Absolutely.
Create a content that offers a prize, something specific to, a date, maybe, make the prize something that's enticing, related to, whatever industry that you guys are in, and, display just some type of a value to whatever that prize is that they could win.
Absolutely. No, it's awesome. Contests have a tendency to go viral, and you want to provide the option or the ability for them to be shared. You can even go so far as having that be allow for added entries into winning the contest, where if you share this on social media, you get an extra entry. If you tweet this, you get an extra entry. If you email it to 5 friends, you get 10 extra entries. And you may make it something similar to your industry. I think that's important to touch on. Why is that? Well, let's say that you're trying to build an email list of individuals that want to learn more about what you do and are interested, and likely your target persona, your buyer persona. Mm-hmm. Don't offer up $100 Amazon gift card, because my grandma's going to sign up for that, and my grandma.
Everybody's signing up for that.
Absolutely.
What about something more specific though, like a specific blog? Maybe something in your wife's gluten-free, right?
Yes. My wife is not by choice. Not to say there's anything wrong with gluten-free dieting by choice, but she has to eat gluten-free because she has wheat allergy. So if you let's say that
know all kinds of gluten-free stuff. So
more than I ever thought I'd like to know. And so we do have some resources we find online. So there's a couple bloggers out there, and one, you bring up a great point. One really cool offer or contest that one of these bloggers could do is, let's say that they were to offer up, let's say 3, there's tons of gluten-free cookbooks now. I mean, this is definitely a booming industry. And let's say that one of these bloggers offered up a contest where you could try to win 3 kick-ass gluten-free cookbooks, which they're not as plentiful or as regular cookbooks, and finding recipes that are good, that are tasty.
There's a big audience for that.
Oh, absolutely. But that would be pointed. That would, because not everyone's going to be interested. No one's going to be interested in a gluten-free cookbook unless you're truly have to or choosing to eat gluten-free and be in that market, or a potential buyer for that interested person for that blog. So that's a great idea as far as a contest prize. No, good point.
More targeted, not Amazon. Grandma's not going to probably be clicking on that.
No, grandma will probably stick away unless grandma's gluten-free, but
all right, cool. How about offering content upgrades?
This is one of my favorites. We do this a lot, and it's one of the easiest. So at this point, hopefully we're all jamming out some remarkable content. We're creating blog posts and videos and all sorts of things that just knock the socks off everything and anyone out there that's doing anything else. But this content, it's being read, it's being shared, it's being linked to, it's getting promoted, it's out there. So you're getting traffic to this content. So one way to build your email list is to go ahead and add in some calls to action and make it related to the actual piece they're reading. So we call it a content upgrade, because what you've done is you presented a valuable piece of content in some sort, a remarkable piece of content. And then you say, hey, if you really like this, you should check out this next piece. So going back to the gluten-free blog example, let's say that we've crafted this killer blog post on how challenging it is to bake gluten-free, which it is for desserts and things along those lines. There's some chocolate cake mixes that are killer that you wouldn't even be able to tell, and some brownie stuff, but
it's got to be more healthy too, I would think.
I don't know how much more. No, you still got sugar in there. There's still sugar in there. So
I'm not gluten free, so
you're not gluten free. No. So, but the biggest challenge is just to get it to taste and really so that it doesn't taste good. It doesn't have the notable difference. It's just the texture is off mostly, and so to have this kick-ass blog post that has all these tricks and everything else, that people are going to gravitate towards that.
Yeah, you should get a lot of engagement there.
Sure, absolutely. And so in the middle of that blog post, insert, or at the end of the blog post or somewhere on that page, have a call to action for an offer to download, let's say, 5 gluten-free dessert recipes.
Cool. I like
totally
that.
Tied into So you're reading about baking gluten-free, and now you can download 5 gluten-free recipes.
Dessert recipes, by the way.
Dessert. Yes, absolutely. Dessert.
I want that. I want the dessert recipes.
Sure, absolutely. So the CTA would go to a landing page and have a simple form asking for the email in exchange for the offer. Cool. Boom. You serve up that offer. You now have someone that is interested in gluten-free baking in your email list.
Love it. I'm going to have to join that. You're going to have to send me the gluten-free link for the blog.
I definitely will.
All right. So next up, how about like creating a quiz or a calculator on your website?
No, the quizzes and calculators are awesome. They're a tool that we can create, develop, that's going to provide some engagement for the site visitor, so that when they're on their journey for looking for more information, they have something fun and interactive to play with on your website. And so let's take a quiz, for example. Your quiz could have a series of questions. They'd be the same type of questions you'd ask during your normal back and forth with a client, helping them identify what is the best fit, what options, which products or services best fit their particular needs. And so these questions could be high-level questions that mirror that and will help them come to the conclusion of, do I need option A or option B? We previously covered this, but you kind of went through this when you bought I think it was a freezer from Home Depot, right?
Yeah, freezer. I think I did one. There was actually another one that was a hot tub, which was pretty cool, that we just didn't have like any idea what kind of hot tub we wanted. And we went through it was basically a quiz that asking you like the different stuff, the different features and whatnot that you wanted in your hot tub. And the quiz, it was maybe 10 to 15 questions, nothing crazy at all. You go through it and it presents you with options, your 3 best hot tubs that you would purchase.
All right.
And it was pretty cool. So, not knowing what we wanted, it was a great tool for us to go on the website and interactive. It wasn't, a sales rep calling us and allowed us I had to enter some information, I had to enter an email address in order to go through that quiz. But then they started sending me information about that particular hot tub. So it worked out really well.
All right. So they asked you for because there's a couple different ways you can go about collecting the email address with a quiz or a calculator. Sure. You just said you had to use it as
I had to actually, I had to enter my email address in initially in order to start taking the quiz. But I'm sure that they could have flipped that, and at the end they probably could have asked me for my email address, in order to see the 3 hot tubs that I was interested in.
Sure. Yeah, they could. So, I mean, I guess you could hold hostage the answer for the email address.
No, I mean, either way, it was a very effective tool.
Sure.
For me to understand a little bit more about, the different hot tubs.
No, yeah, no, that's awesome. The one other option you could go with is right. I've seen this done before is where right before the answer is revealed or your options are presented, there's an opt-in page that maybe has an offer that's asking. So it's a little less of a,
give me the results.
Less security. I guess the word I'm looking for is security or less confining. You can use the quiz freely without opting in for anything. It's more of a, hey, if you got to this point and you really like what we have, there's some great tools here before we reveal what's behind door number one. Let me show you this shiny gold ring here. And so it's an opt-in offer opportunity for that. The other thing that we all have done this, it's kind of assumptive, but a lot of us have seen the quizzes on social media that you take a quiz and you can share your results with your social media audiences. A lot of times these aren't business related. They're which country star would make the best spouse for you or something silly like that. And you go through and take the quiz and you find out that it's Brad Pitt.
I don't even know any country stars.
I know a couple just because I'm force fed country music by my family. I don't particularly enjoy it, but hey, I do know a couple. So at any rate, though, making the option to share your answers or just to share the quiz for the example of your hot tub, maybe it's, hey, I just used this awesome calculator, tweet it. Or which, these are my 3 options. Which one do you think would fit me best? And it asks your social media audiences maybe for their way in on it, and have a link to that calculator and,
additional eyeballs.
Those eyeballs might start taking the quiz. So, quiz or calculators, they are fun things to do.
Calculators and quizzes work very, very well. All right. What do you think about creating a joint email campaign with a similar business?
No, this is cool. This is something that is a great idea. And so think about all the different businesses out there that maybe aren't direct competitors to you, but complement what you do. There's oftentimes influencers in these industries who have audiences that they reach out to. And what you can do here is kind of team up and promote one another to each other's audiences. So I find conferences as a good place to find these types of relationships. Obviously, if you don't have a conference you're attending coming up, you can go hunting on LinkedIn, Twitter, and different various places the internet can take us to find and formulate relationships. But conferences are kind of cool because you're face to face and you can grab a coffee or a beer and learn more about them in a lot quicker fashion than the back and forth sometimes the internet or an email exchange might. But if you're like us, when we go to conferences, we like to meet lots of people. And once you've identified someone that you think might be a good fit for this campaign or this type of strategy, just mention them about your email list and how you're looking to grow it. Kind of get a feel to see if they have a similar interest or not. And if they'd be willing to explore ways and that you could benefit from one another.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, let's say that you have a blog that helps busy working moms, learn life hacks on how to balance their work life, their family life, their overall sanity. It's I know my wife, she is a working mom. Your wife as well is a working mom.
She's gonna want to read that blog.
Sure, absolutely. And so you're the writer or the owner of this blog, and you meet someone at a conference or through an internet exchange or mutual acquaintance that specializes in, let's say, yoga and Pilates, something that my wife also is interested in. And this person offers online classes that can be, you subscribe to it, you can watch them at home, you can do these at home, and they're new classes daily. and something that keeps the, fresh and new and everything else of that nature. Also something that my wife would be interested in. So here we have two very similar. They're different. They're not competitors, but they serve the same audience.
Complement each other.
Exactly. Yeah. And so what you could do is you could craft a couple emails that you would send to your own lists, talking, maybe you talk about the interaction, like, hey, I bumped into this person. They gave me a sample of their course. I checked this course out. This course is fantastic. I'm telling you,
check it out.
All my followers, all my listeners, all my audience, check this course out. You are going to love it. And because we met with, I met this individual, they told me that they would give my audience a discount on their first month subscription, something along those lines, to say, hey, entice. Now, obviously, if you're going to endorse someone, you want to make sure they're legitimate. Of course, you're going to do your due diligence. I don't think you'd really back anyone just for the heck of it, but stranger things have happened. The thing you want to make sure that, though, you don't recommend a bad apple, or you just don't want to lose that credibility. You work so hard to build up your audience, and so make sure that you go through and you understand. But everyone, I'm sure, is going to do a fantastic job vetting that process.
Right. Cool. What about hosting a webinar?
Yeah. You like webinars?
I love webinars.
Me too. And the one thing about webinars is I always like to learn something new. And usually
there's huge groups of people all in one spot.
Well, that's just it. I'm always blown away by how many people are attending these webinars, and they're from all over the world.
Yep.
And the nice thing about it is, whenever you sign up for a webinar, you have to enter an email address to register for it. And so entering that email address is a great process, or great way to build your lists. So host a webinar, put together a killer idea about a topic in your industry that people are just falling over themselves to learn more about, and build a lot of hype. This is going to require some promotion. Maybe you could even go ahead and take a similar strategy or similar approach like we just discussed, and co-host a webinar with someone that you meet that's in a similar industry. Now, of course, you're going to invite everyone that's in your audience to attend the webinar, which is going to cross promote to them, and they would do the same to you, plus the promotion you can do outside to get brand new eyeballs to both of you into the group, into the webinar. Just have a great, and then in the webinar itself, have a killer slide deck that in some really, really, really great points, really drive home some value, over deliver, make them feel like they've just invested, the time that they've invested is well spent, that it wasn't wasted, that they're not going to bail halfway through because you're reading to them from the slide deck. I don't want to get into a whole presentation strategies, but really do a killer job of the webinar, because if you do leave them craving more, then you're going to definitely get more opt-ins for different products. Maybe if you're selling something, soft sell them, or try to pitch them something there at the end of the webinar, because it's a selling opportunity as well. And even if you can convert a couple percentage points or a couple percent of the people in the webinar, that's money in your pocket.
Definitely. Love webinars. Ton of people there. Very, very effective. You can get the eyeballs and visitors to that actual event. What do you think about viral loops on opt-in pages?
So viral loops, this is great. This is just, it gives you the ability to leverage that social media audience of the person that just opted in. So here's how this works. You have an offer. Someone signs up. They say, great, yeah, Ken, I want the ebook on the 8 things you should consider when hiring a website designer. And they go to the thank you page that has the actual download link on it. But also on that page, you have a content upgrade there, where if you share the offer that you just downloaded, or you email it to a friend, you could get that next even better offer downloaded as well. So what that does is, this is kind of a piggyback off of already getting someone to subscribe, what you're doing is just leveraging your exposure. Say, all right, Bob, thanks for downloading. Now I want you to tell all your friends about what you just downloaded. So
Right.
I'll give you, here's another carrot I'm dangling in front of you. If you share this with your friends, in hopes that, it boils back to more eyeballs and just getting your information in front of others that you normally wouldn't. So viral loops, opt-in pages. I really,
great.
yeah, I love the idea.
All right, so here's another one that I think that people miss out on quite a bit. It's just placing links in your email signature. A lot of people do it. A lot of people don't. If you're not using any particular email signature yet, do it. It's extremely easy. You can start plugging information about your offers. You can plug information about particular blog posts that you have coming up. It's very effective. I've seen a handful of clients that have gone from not doing that to publishing, information about their blogs and different offers, and have built large lists simply off of doing something. And it's extremely easy to implement and update.
Well, exactly. We email. How many emails do you send a day? I send to quite a few.
Ton.
Sure. And a lot of the people that we're sending emails to they're
not
subscribed
ready for that.
Yeah,
Right.
They're not subscribed to our list yet. So give them the opportunity. It's just a simple link. You don't have to do anything extra. Just set it up inside the signature and boom, it is there.
So writing guest posts on influencers' blogs is also pretty important.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of goes back to the idea of leveraging another's audience. And so oftentimes great blogs who have large audiences, they're looking for others to contribute content. They're really trying to feed the hunger of their audience. And so they're always looking for great writers to
additional copy.
Exactly. Contribute. And so they want unique content that exclusive to their blog. And so you can approach, or sometimes they might approach you if you have a noted blog and you're a good writer. They'll allow guest posts, and for a guest post, it's typical to allow an insertion of a link or some type of signature, author line. Maybe you can include a CTA of some sorts and see what they would allow you to do. But in this, you have the opportunity to gain exposure from, again, an influencer audience. So in doing so, you want to bring your A game here. I mean, not that you wouldn't create a piece of killer content, but there's a couple things here. One, you want to create a awesome piece of content that's going to be your guest posting. You're a guest in someone's home, so you want to be the best.
Bring your A game.
Bring your A game.
Make it awesome.
Two, you have an audience here that you get to audition for and say, hey, I'm also relevant. Obviously, the owner of this blog is allowing me to communicate with you, but here's how killer my content is, how much of a thought leader I am in this industry, and really give them this urge of why I have to follow this person too, because what they're saying is so on point and makes such sense. So you're gonna grab their attention and hopefully convert them into becoming one of your followers. So guest posting, I think, is awesome. It's one of those things where you have to go out and find those influencers and formulate those relationships, but it's worth the time to put in.
Well, that's a wrap for today. While there are many different ways that you can go about growing your email list, these are a handful of ways to get you started. Go out and start growing your audience. Until next time, this is Ken and Justin with Neon Noise. Make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Neon Noise Podcast. Did you enjoy the podcast? If so, please subscribe, share with a friend, or write a review. We want to cover the topics you want to hear. If you have an idea for a topic you'd like Justin and Ken to cover, connect with us on Twitter at Neon Goldfish or through our website at neongoldfish.com.